Welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time. Gab Marcotti joins us alongside Craig and Shaka. Gab, is Ronaldo the only player stopping this golden generation of Portugal?
What, is he like holding them back, you mean? Is that the question?
That's the suggestion.
No, that's absolutely ridiculous. No, I think some players are holding themselves back, and I point to Rafael Leao, who in terms of gifts, of ability, should be one of the best wingers in the world. Certainly at the back, like I said, Renato Vega makes my eyes hurt every time I see him play. But yes, the others, João Neves, Vitinha, that's all very, very exciting. But you can't blame Cristiano Ronaldo for everything. You can blame him for many things. But no, he's not holding them back. And Roberto Martinez knew he was going to be there when he took the job. Presumably had a plan for Cristiano. The taboo of dropping Cristiano, if you think you can do better without him, was already broken in the World Cup. I think even Cristiano would be, I want to say okay with it, but I think public opinion in Portugal would be okay with it if you put together a winning side. So you can't use Cristiano as an alibi for your own shortcomings.
He's not the... I stand by this. He's not the problem. The problem here is if you're forward thinking to the 2026 World Cup, which is what Portugal have to do, that is what from here?
18 months.
Give or take, right? There's no way, or maybe there is, that Portugal can go into that with a Cristiano Ronaldo who's, what's he going to be then, Gab, in his 40s?
He's already in his 40s.
So yes.
Right, so you're looking at somebody almost 40.
Like Shaq.
Yeah.
Oh, Shaq. Yeah. You're knocking on a bit. My point is if you're progressive thinking about how you're going to take this country forward, and they have got some talented players, and I do agree with Rafael Leao, he's such a frustrating player, but you have to look to the future and say, right, can I go into a World Cup with Cristiano Ronaldo well in my 40s then as a guy that's going to lead the line? The previous tournaments will tell you the answer to that is no. And that was the World Cup and the last Euros we just had, where Fernando Santos dropped him at the World Cup, and at the Euros he wasn't very productive. So that's only going to get worse. He's only going to get slower. Mother Nature is catching up, and the big issue I have here is that the longer this manager leaves it, the more difficult it is going to be.
For Gab, which title race objectively is more compelling, Serie A or La Liga?
I have to say La Liga, simply because, with all my love for Serie A, there are bigger stars. I still think it's a legit three-way race. I do not think Atleti are out, and also you have two of the three teams who are still competing on all fronts, right? We're still competing for trebles in Real Madrid and Barcelona, and we have a Classico coming up. Whereas in Italy, you have Inter, as Simone Inzaghi likes to remind us, are competing for the quadruple, because he's counting the Club World Cup, of course. But the reality is, Atalanta are out of everything. Napoli are out of everything. Atalanta, I think their defeat this past week, it doesn't cut them out, but it sets them back a little bit. So still compelling, still more exciting than Liverpool with their 29-point lead in the Premier League. So I'll give you that. But yeah, for me, it's La Liga. Live on ESPN, I'm told.
See your name on that.
I believe so.
It's the most thankless job.
Steve Nichols' personal
It's the most thankless
big
task.
shout out today to Vitor, who works on this show, who was given the unwanted task of helping Stevie fix his computer.
Let me tell you something.
So who told him to go up and help Stevie?
I had a front row seat to that. I was
Talk us through it,
hilarious.
Shaq. What did you see?
Hour and a half of Vitor literally banging his head on the desk.
And what contribution was Stevie making?
None. Stevie was just there going, I told you. Honestly, it was the funniest thing ever. Poor Vitor.
Vitor, he learned one of life's great lessons today.
Yeah.
If he didn't already know that, maybe it was just because he's a nice guy, that never, ever, ever, even when asked, even if it comes right from the top, do not go up there to help him at his desk with any computer or technical issues.
So funny.
Because it's a long, laborious, drawn-out affair that came to It hit the buffers, and it hit the buffers without any resolution.
No,
so
2
it has to
hours,
be.
nothing was
And Stevie finished up with, well, thanks for nothing. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, God, that's so funny.
Yeah.
I tell you what, so this is the thing, Peter didn't realise. I tell you how long Stevie knew it was going to be. He brought lunch in.
He brought lunch in for me to say thank you for helping, but I came in late today, so hence Peter got the...
See, you're soft. You're soft.
No, I don't mind helping.
No, but you help
It's
him.
fine.
If he even looks at me for help with the computer.
No, I know, I know.
becomes-
But I just feel bad for him.
Why?
Because he's so incompetent.
Yeah, but this is my problem. If you continue to do something for somebody, they'll never learn.
He's never going to learn anything.
He'll have to.
He won't, Craig.
Sack him.
Sack him.
Sack him.
That's it.
Right, come on.
Who has provided more value for money, Shaq? Kai Havertz or Darwin Nunez?
Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz.
Wait,
I can't offer much. I can't offer much more than that. But Kai Havertz.
Yeah, I would probably. Yeah. I mean, he started the bulk of all the games.
Yep.
Nunez is.
Yes,
you know,
bit part. But Liverpool have won
Gab
things with
not
Nunez in the squad, and not Arsenal haven't won anything with Kai Havertz in the
I'm
squad.
not a huge fan of either, if I'm being honest.
There we go. Gab?
I'm a big fan of Kai Havertz. I think
Right.
all of this nonsense that he gets,
go.
false center forward, false 9, false 8, false 12. Look, we see what happens. The man gets hurt, and Arsenal lay a turd every week since then.
Yeah,
right?
take that.
So,
Yeah, it's nothing to do with Saka.
Kai
Where
Havertz
have
just
the-
scored a goal to win a Champions League final, right? We're
Whenever they laid the top, they're in the quarter-final of the Champions League. They're playing Real Madrid. They were already behind Liverpool in the league. That's really they're not behind them where they are now because
I quite like that phrase.
I
Anyway,
wonder why are Arsenal looking to buy a striker? Oh, I wonder.
who is under more pressure?
Are they really? Like the one they bought in January?
Didn't they offer Ollie Watkins 10p to come?
So they say.
Well, they're going to buy a striker in the summer, otherwise they're never going to win the league, and he's going to get sacked. End of story.
There you go. Who's under more pressure at their respective clubs, Gab? Motta, Amorim or Postecoglou?
Oh, good question. So I think Amorim, of those three, Amorim is under the least amount of pressure because he just arrived, and I think they would look absolutely ridiculous. Not that Jim Ratcliffe finds other ways to look ridiculous, but no, I think of the three, Amorim is pretty much safe. Postecoglou's in his second season, which is not a great situation to be in. I think if they do something in the Europa League, that may help, but certainly his job is clearly in jeopardy. I think of the three, I think Thiago Motta is the biggest question mark. Now, the club like the fact that he's gone in a different direction. He's given space to younger players, homegrown players, and so on. And but by the same token, the football he plays is just horrendous. He moves players all over the pitch willy-nilly. He doesn't, their biggest asset, at least on their books, is Dusan Vlahovic, and the poor man can't get on the pitch. Before they signed Colomwani, we even saw Tim Weah play centre forward. He moves players all over the pitch. And can I mention Renato Vega again? And Lloyd Kelly? I mean, seriously, who are these guys, right? Coming in, playing for the club. His relationship with the fans isn't good. His relationship with some senior players isn't good. Guys he didn't want, like, say, Moise Kean and Nicola Fagioli, going elsewhere and doing really, really well. All these things do not bode well for Thiago Motta. So, yeah, I would say he's in the most jeopardy, followed by Postecoglou. I think Ruben Amorim is going to be fine this summer.
Gab, you can keep this brief. What are the chances Fabregas gets a bigger job in the near future if he keeps Como up?
I think he's going to be offered a bigger job. I think Como have done they play really good football. They've made some good signings. There's obviously a lot of money behind the club as well. I think he'd like to stay another season and really build something and see if they can consolidate. He's a guy who takes his time in his own development, and I think he'd be very careful about the next job he's offered. Now, obviously, if some huge club comes along and offers him the gig, I'm sure he would consider it, but he wants to develop in his own pace as a coach.
Final question, Shaka. The big ones tonight, obviously.
What?
Who's going through to the Nations League final from tonight's semis, which of course is Panama against USA, Mexico against
CONCACAF
Canada.
Nations League.
Yes.
Get that right.
USA and Canada.
And when did Trinidad and Tobago play?
Cuba.
Cuba?
Yeah.
Tomorrow? Nations
Tomorrow.
League?
Yeah.
Nice one.
Will you be
4
across
o'clock.
that?
Yes.
Sorry, 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yes.
Well, it's not in the morning, is it?
Could be.
Why?
Time differences.
What
Is the game?
time difference?
You in Cuba?
I don't know what the time is. How do I know what the time is?
Well, it's not 4 in the morning. Doesn't equate
No,
to...
I know that.
I thought we
but,
were
you know,
playing in Siberia.
I don't know.
Cuba, New Zealand.
To be honest, I'll be honest with you, I think that game should be played at 4 a.m. so there's nobody has to watch it. Put the US on at 4 a.m. as well.
That is it. That brings us to
And this Nations
the
League.
end of today's show. Thank you very much for watching the mighty England.
England, Albania, Thomas Tuchel, will he sign the anthem?
Boy.
Oh, will he sing the
I want to see that.
desperation from England? Got a German in charge.
Oh, boy.